Welcome back to Income Trading 101. I wanted to try and make a quick video. I'm going to try and keep it quick. This morning, before the market opens in about 17 minutes, and it'll be time to start trading. So today, we are looking at Pinterest. I have not looked at Pinterest stock for a while, but they had earnings last week, a big gap move, and this could open up some nice opportunities. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get over to Pinterest. Let's see if this will do it. Sorry about that, y'all. Here we go. All right. So Pinterest stock, like I said, had earnings last week. Actually had positive earnings. They have a new CEO. One of the things I like about it too is the fact that it's being discussed on Barron's.com this morning. It's one of the suggested buys. And I'll tell you a few things I like about this. I mean, I can already see a nice up move. We had this gap down. A lot of times the market fills in those gaps. So let's go ahead and keep our normal process. You guys have seen me do this before. And it's important. The reason it's important to have a consistent way of looking at companies is so that you don't get, let's see. So that you don't turn around and end up looking at, you want to be able to look at apples to apple judgments of companies. So if I could get this to work, there we go. Let's see, we're going to have our 10-day, flip that one to green like we always do. So that'll be my short-term buy. We're going to create a 20-day. It'll be our red, our shorter-term sell. And just so you know, the shorter or the longer for that matter, the shorter of the length of time that you intend to hold a stock, the shorter you need to use for these moving averages. You want to have something that is most aligned with your trading style. So one of the things I normally do before even looking at the moving averages is just seeing where this stock has been. So let's take the full look. So just as recently as 2021, this thing had a high in the did it reach 90? It looks like it had a high of 89.90. I think that was the high overall. Shot right on up during the pandemic and has come straight on off. But like I mentioned, they recently, look at these, consistently good earnings except for this one back in June of 22 or July of 22. I mean, the company seems to be doing well. They make all of their income, for that matter, off of advertising. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Pinterest. It's one of the top social media names when people are talking social media. So anyway, I'm trying to move this on over. Tighten this up a little. As you know, I typically use TradingView. I like TradingView's charts. Gives me a lot of flexibility, a lot of functionality, as you guys just witnessed, to be able to create the view that I'm really interested in. So we're going to tighten it back up a little bit. And now we're good to go. So as you can see right now, the stock has just stopped being what I would call bullish because of this gap move down. You can see that on the daily time frame, the moving average, the 10-day is below the 20-day moving average. And if you can't see it, certainly look at the numerical values up here in the upper left. But you can see when I hover over the last trading day, the 10-day moving average is below the 20. Both of those are still above the 60. I really look for all three to be in line. So if it's going to be bullish, I want the 10-day higher than the 20, higher than the 60, and the exact opposite if it's bearish. Let's change time frames. We're going to take it out to the weekly. So on the weekly level, wow, I'm sorry I compressed this so much. On a weekly level, we still have a scenario that looks bullish. You can see the 10-day is at $26.39. The 20-day average is $25.94. 60 is $23.55. That is definitely bullish. You can see the green lines there as well. Green line above the red, above the yellow. I'm going to have to adjust this one more time when we take it to the hourly, just so you can see. I'm flipping it around. So we went from daily to weekly. Now we're looking at the hourly. The hourly is fully bullish, but you would expect that after the gap move on Friday after the earnings. The 45-minute as well. So these lower time frames, especially since today's market has not opened, are all going to be very bearish. So the moving averages overall are showing bearish on the extremely short time frame, but on the longer time frame, it's looking bullish. And the daily, of course, is in a period of convergence because the 10-day is below the 20, so they are not all in line. Let's flip out of this and go over to the MACD. And I like this one as well, just to get a sense of how momentum is looking. Oh, well, so on the daily, we had a crossover last week. And this is looking bearish with even the MACD line going below the 0 line. I'm sure on the weekly, it's going to be looking a bit bullish. Just as expected, it is. You had a crossover down here. Let me pull this on over. You had a crossover back in March, late March, and it went ahead and crossed over the 0 line. So really, everything right now is just being influenced by the gap move down. So let's go ahead and take just a pure look at the gap move, and I'll get rid of that. We'll take a look at this line and how I'm viewing it overall. So a lot of times stock will fill in the gap. So I'm not afraid of gap moves. In fact, they typically can be a lot of opportunity. I want to tighten this up a little bit. Before last week, I was looking more at this. This seemed to be a very nice move up. Of course, that gap move, as you can see, has dropped us below this channel. And so the question now is going to be, will the stock re-enter that channel and go back up again? We haven't had reason to in a while, but I'm just going to do a quick Fibonacci analysis as well. Not of this whole move. I'm going to take it. Have to decide where to start because it's so. I mean, if we do the Fibonacci of the entire move, I'm just not certain that it's going to give us anything that's worth truly taking a look at. Let's see. I think I was already there. Yep. So you can see for the full move, we really haven't even crossed into those first Fibonacci retracement levels. If we were to move this on down to say that sort of most recent pop before, just before the new year of 2022, at this point, we started to see a 38% retracement, but that's a real stretch just to sort of choose a random spot on the chart. I don't like that. One of the things I do like, though, about this chart is the gap move. If you can see every gap move, in fact, that's a perfect one to look at right there. It happened back in, this would be May of 22. You had a gap move down, and then slowly but surely, the stock moved in to fill that gap, right? It didn't fill the gap completely until looks like the end of June. So we had a gap move down on May 24th, and by June the 27th, it had filled it in. It took a full month, and we saw another test retest of that move down. Another gap move here got filled in. That was a gap move up that happened in August of 22. Got filled in again. So this stock is definitely playing into that that sort of theory of gap moves being filled in. With this gap move down, I would expect it to be filled in higher, which makes me bullish overall for this stock right now. Let's do one last thing. I've been adding the volume profile back in as well, just to get a sense of where we might see. And so no surprises. The highest volume is down here. You can see this is almost creating a great little, man, let me move this over so you can see it. Look at that as far as resistance. As far as support, that is a great support line, a really good support line. It was resistance back here in August of 22. Once it broke on through, it broke a little bit, but went higher, acted as support, a support region in late September of 22. Bounced through a little bit, but still has largely been a support line. I'm going to match that with just one little trend line to throw that in. So there you go. We managed to stop right here on this support. So it broke through the trend line. So the question now that I'll be keeping an eye on is whether the trend line or any other line becomes resistance, or if we're going to just bounce right back through it. So overall, like I said, I am bullish on Pinterest. I think it's definitely worth taking a look at, and it's a go. So I'm going to be looking at the stock for this. And I'm sorry, not stock. I got confused. I trade options mostly. I do like trading some stock. I think the stock's going to have a nice move, but being bullish in the options, I'm going to be looking for things like maybe a 1x2 call spread, maybe a bullish call spread. I might even look at doing selling some credit spreads on the put side. So that's it for Pinterest. Thank you guys for watching, and keep going. I'll be making another video here shortly, so I look forward to having you guys dial in. All right, dial in. Wow, where did that come from? Sign in. We'll talk to you soon.